Tuples are another type of data structure. Now, unlike lists and dictionaries, these are known as immutable. What that means is that you can't change the data in them. So I could effectively delete this and overwrite it with a new tuple, but it's nowhere near as efficient as dictionaries and lists if it was something you were wanting to change as your program's running. So these are only useful for data where you want it to be set and you just want to access it every now and again. You're never going to change it. That's where tuples are useful. It's important you know they exist because, as you saw in the previous dictionaries video, sometimes data that comes back to you might be in the form of a tuple. So you need to know that it's just a data structure that can't be changed, but you can access the data within it. So, unlike dictionaries, there's no keys. We're back to accessing things via index. So if I wanted to loop through my tuple, I could do a for item in fruit, print item, and then when I run it, it's printing apple, banana and cherry, because obviously on the first pass of this loop, item was apple, then it was banana, and then it was cherry. Remember, you can write whatever you want here. I just thought item made sense because it's a list of fruit, but you could write whatever you want. I could call it FR for fruit, and it would still work as long as I call it the same inside the loop, whatever I call it up there. So that's the loop variable. So you can change that to anything you want. Now, that's all very useful, but let's go over trying to do some other things. So I can obviously print out the entirety of the the tuple. So I could print fruit, and that prints it in its tuple form. I could use indexing positions just like I do with lists. So I could do number 1 to print out banana, because remember this is in position 0, this is 1, and this is 2. So I can access things like that. There's not a huge amount more I think we need to go through, because otherwise we're just going into things you've done in other videos. But you can obviously still use membership operators and things. So I could do if apple in fruit. Imagine this was your fruit bowl. I could check to see if apple exists in it, and then I could print yes, you have an apple, else print go to the shop. So you can see, because apple exists in my tuple, this has been deemed to be true, so therefore it's printed out that statement. Otherwise it would have printed out that one. So again, if I take the E off, it's going to see those as different bits of data. So you see now it's telling me to go to the shop. So I won't go through everything, but you can do .count, you can do find the length, all the sort of key things you might have done with lists in the past. You can apply them to this. The difference is the things like .append, where you're adding to fruit, is something that doesn't exist in a tuple. So tuples are for storing data where you're not going to want to be continually adding to them. Think of it as a way of storing data in a nice and easy way where you can access that data, but I'm not going to be editing it and adding to it. Otherwise, it's probably the wrong data structure to pick.